you see a lot of people and they really look down, like, look at that guy, he's homeless. You know, what is wrong with that guy? Why don't he just get a job? And people don't realize that you're one bad decision away from being where I am.
So here we are in Catonsville, Maryland. What's your name?
Craig.
Craig, are you homeless?
Yes, sir.
So Craig, tell me, how'd you get to this spot where you are now?
Well, 2 years ago, before COVID hit, I'm a single father. I have custody of my 16-year-old daughter. I own my own business, had a painting business, was doing really well. Right before COVID hit, I probably made $175,000 my last year. And a friend of mine kept saying, you got all your eggs in one basket, you're going to lose your business. I only had 4 customers, but they had between 5 and 15 buildings downtown. I had 4 employees. It was doing wonderful. Life was great. Me and my daughter were doing good. She's an honor roll student. Once COVID hit, all 4 of my customers sold their businesses within a 2-week period. So within 2 weeks, I went from everything to nothing. I couldn't pay my rent. I was living right down here in Catonsville, $1,800 a month rent. And they threw me out. I couldn't pay rent. I was $13,000 behind. My daughter is staying over my niece's house now, and here I am. I mean, it's not a fun thing, but it's what I got to do. I'm hoping to get back on my feet, and actually, last week I ran into an old friend of mine, and he said that he was willing to put up a couple $1,000s to start my business back up again. But we'll see how that pans out. You know, you always hear things, but he sounded sincere. So we'll wait and see what happens. But like right now, I'm just panhandling, trying to make a living.
And there was a painting business, you said?
Yep. I had a good, wonderful painting. I've been painting 30 years. I do drywall, home improvements. I'm real good at what I do. I'm real good. You know, but when you have no place to live, it's hard to you're not getting work. I don't have a vehicle. You can't carry your tools. I mean, I have a phone, but, you know, I get odd jobs here and there, but not what I'm accustomed to. You know, I just little ridiculous jobs. I was doing $1 million houses. I got secret clearance from military bases. I mean, I've done a lot of high-end stuff, and you know, we're all just one step away from being where I am. I mean, one thing, and the weirdest thing is, this friend of mine told me it was going to happen. Like a month later, it happened. It was the crazy. I couldn't believe it. And what he said came true.
So what exactly did he say?
He said, I have all my eggs in one basket, because I only had 4 customers. Yeah. But they had a lot of properties, and there was just a ton of work. I had 3 full-time employees and a part-time carpenter and a part-time electrician. And I mean, I just was making real good money. I mean, I raised my daughter, me and her, since she was 3 years old. And, you know, we never wanted anything. We had plenty of money.
And how old is your daughter now?
My daughter's 16.
16?
Yes.
Are you still in contact with your daughter?
Yes. She's staying at my niece's in Pasadena. Thank goodness I have somebody still in my corner that helps us out. But it's not a good fit for her out there. She's had some, I don't want to put her business out there, but she was hurt real bad out there in Pennsylvania. And I don't want to put her business out there. But, you know, she lives with that fear, I guess, all the time out there. So I want to get her out of there as quick as I can, but, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. But like I was saying, a friend of mine said he put up a couple $1,000s to start my business up. So I'm kind of hoping that works out. And I've already talked to a couple companies, and they have work for me, but I got to get licensed and insured and have a vehicle. You know, so that's $2,000 to get all my insurance taken care of, workman's compensation. Got to pay for your company name all over again. Workman's comp, $1 million worth of liability insurance. You have to have it to work anywhere in the state of Maryland. And a commercial license. But you just pay for that. It's not a test. And then you got to have a vehicle. You know, so, you know, you're talking $6,000. I still have all my tools. Luckily, I still have all my painting stuff. You know, I've probably got $4,000 or $5,000 worth of stuff in storage. A friend of mine's keeping in his garage. So, you know, when I get a vehicle and get my stuff. I'm shooting for summer, but we'll see what happens.
Where do you stay? Where do you go to sleep?
Where I can.
Where you can?
Yeah. Sometimes, for the first 3 weeks, I was staying in hotels. Somebody put me up for a night, and when I came out of the hotel to check out in the morning to leave, I ran into a guy who was working out of state, and I told him what was going on with me, and then he let me stay in a hotel room for a week because it was already paid for, and that happened with 2 or 3 more guys. So for the first 2 or 3 weeks, I was living in a hotel. And I had money on a food stamp card. I still had my cell phone. And I was surviving. But then that come crashing down. And then, when you take things for granted when it's warm out. But once it gets cold, it's a little bit tougher. But, I keep my head up, stay positive. I'm not... Like, I know some other guys that are homeless. And, they go through the boost and stuff and all that to get their money. I'm not that guy. I don't like to steal stuff from people or take things. This is the hardest thing I've ever done, is stand here with this daggone sign. I probably cry here 5 or 6 times a day. A kid today gave me $3. He was 7 years old. I mean, just, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's hard to take.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Remind me, how long have you been panhandling for?
Not long, since 3.5 months.
3.5 months? Okay.
Probably not even that long. Probably 2.5 months.
2.5 months.
Seems longer.
Yeah. Do you have any other family other than your daughter out here?
I have 4 brothers and a sister, and then 2 of them are millionaires, but they don't care about nobody. It's a weird family we have. I don't know.
Were you ever close with them before, or?
A long time ago, when we were young. Yeah.
Do they know your situation, or do they not know where you are?
No, even when I would call them, when I was me and my daughter, they would never call me. I would call them on holidays, and they would talk to me, but real short. I don't know. And they've all been down the road I've been down. I've been a drug user for a lot of years, got clean. So have all my brothers, except for one. My oldest brother, if you Google him, he's in the top 3% of anybody on the planet, brain-wise, for Mensa. I mean, he runs north of Drummond. I mean, he's super smart. And he was a 27-year drug addict. And he's got 18 years clean now. But, I don't know. Our family just, it's not tight. I'm close to my sister. But, we haven't even talked. She owes me a couple $1,000, and it's she just ignores me now. I don't know why. I lent her money every time when she needed it. And now that I'm in trouble, she doesn't have time for me. I don't understand it. But it is what it is.
How are you treated out here by the people, pedestrians, cops? You say you're treated well? Or?
Most people are very good, very generous. I've had a cop came up and give me a hard time, and while he was giving me a hard time, another police officer pulled up and was bringing me a cheesesteak sub. This was the day before Christmas. And then I got a pass. And you see all these bags here. Somebody else was panhandling here, and this is all the trash. They just leave here. So this is what I've done today since I've been here, cleaned all this up.
You cleaned it all up?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like... I mean, people give you stuff, and then they just throw the trash here. Yeah. I like to keep it clean. I mean, you're using this ramp to survive. Clean up for somebody else, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just don't take, be willing to give back. Mm-hmm. I've actually had somebody pull up in a car and say, hey, I need gas money. Can you lend me $2? And I only had $3 on me. And I gave him $2, and he goes, I was just kidding. I just wanted to see if you'd give it to me. And the guy gave me a $50 bill. But he was just seeing if I was willing to give back. So, I wasn't expecting that, but, you got to give. You just can't be willing to take.
Certainly.
But people are pretty good. I was out here Christmas Eve and made money to actually stay at somebody's house, and paid rent so I could sleep in a house, get a shower, and all that stuff. So I didn't come out Christmas because I made pretty good money Christmas Eve. I ate well.
Is it hard to find shelters around here, or have you been to a shelter?
There's a shelter right over there. I stayed there once and had my cell phone taken. You have like a foot locker at the end of your bed, and when you go to sleep, if you have something, somebody's going to take your stuff. But I mean, it's a lot of people say good things about the place. I've just had a bad experience there, so I haven't been back. You know, it hasn't been super cold yet. It's only been like 20s 2 times so far. And somebody gave me a tent and a sleeping bag. So I have a tent and a sleeping bag and like 4 or 5 blankets.
What are things that you could use besides money that would be very helpful for you?
Work.
Work?
I could definitely use work. That's what I don't want to be out here. I can work. And I like to work. You know, I want to be there for my daughter. But, you know, I'm grateful to get money from people. Don't get me wrong. I am very grateful. But it's not a solution. I need to go back to work is what I need to do. Take care of myself. I don't like doing this. It's very uncomfortable.
So tell me, what specific skills can you do in painting? Like, name all the specific skills that you offer.
I mean, I do high-end painting. I mean, I do like $1 million homes. I do drywall, patchwork, do holes in ceiling, do home improvements, hang doors. I can pretty much do anything, but I'm not I'm a master painter, but I'm not a master carpenter. But I can do anything in anybody's house, and I do what I can. And if I can't, I have somebody in every field, and I would call them up, and they would come over, and in turn, they would give me painting jobs. So you help people out, they help you out. But, you know, I lost my vehicle and everything when COVID hit. And when you don't have a house, it's just, or a place of residence, you know, you can't go in somebody's house and not have a shower in a month. You just can't do that. You know, and you know, like I say, you can't carry your tools there. You have to be driving, you have to have transportation, and you have to be legal. But I've always kept work, always had good customers, and always had good employees. You know, I vet my employees. I don't want them using drugs, because you can't have somebody stealing from a job. Because in a painting business, you're only as good as your last job, because you don't advertise. So usually when you do a job, you get a job off of that one and off of that one. So if you get one bad job, you could be done. It's that simple. So you just, you know, you do what you... Because all a customer wants is you to be honest and do what you say you're going to do. Like when I leave a job, like for instance, if I would paint somebody's windows, after I get done painting them, I wash their windows. You know, I vacuum their house, I put drop cloths through their whole house, I don't walk on their carpet. You know, you do extra.
Take pride in it, yeah.
A lot of pride. You know, and there's nothing like a grateful customer when you just see their face light up. And that's all they want is what they paid for. They're not looking, you know what I mean? They just want you to do what you say you're going to do. Be on time, be punctual, be polite. And that's all. I'm not there to have a big conversation with customers. I'm there to get the job done, make them happy, and move along. So hopefully by summertime I'll get everything back in order. And I think it's a feasible goal. I think it can happen. So that's my game plan, is to just keep my head up, stay out of trouble, and do the right thing.
Yeah, I really love your attitude, you know. You could be very angry, you could be very negative, but you got to keep on.
It doesn't get you anywhere. You know, you could be mad and miserable and just go out and do dumb things. You got to keep pushing forward. You know, I got myself in this mess. I got to get myself out of it. You know, it's that simple.
Do you have any words of wisdom for the world? Any words of encouragement based off what you experienced?
You know, I don't know if it's words of wisdom, but, you know, you see a lot of people and they really look down, like, look at that guy, he's homeless. You know, what is wrong with that guy? Why don't he just get a job? And people don't realize that you're one bad decision away from being where I am. One wrong mistake. I was doing everything right. Wasn't drinking, was going to meetings. I had an apartment, roof over my head, had $10,000 in the bank. Within 2 weeks, my business was shut down and lost everything. Just chain reaction. And, you know, you look down on people sometimes because you think it's their fault where they are. And yes, I could have done things different, but you can be where I am in an instant. So don't be so quick to judge people, and help them out if you can. Because one day you could be in my position and you'll be looking for that handout. And even though you turned your back on me, I'll be there for you. It's just how I do. So just try to help out.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story with me. You know, it really means a lot. And I really hope all the best for you.
Well, thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.